The new generation Lexus LX, based off the 300 series Land Cruiser, which we actually don't get in the United States. We've had it since the 2022 model year, and when it launched, I was a little disappointed, mainly on the powertrain. All right, we lost the silky smooth V8. Yes, the twin turbo V6 is more efficient, just slightly. It's got way more torque. It's got more peak horsepower too. But Toyota and Lexus, their specialty is hybridization, electrification on top of internal combustion. The frustrating thing is that the Tundra and the Sequoia launched pretty much with those powertrains, a hybridized twin turbo V6. It was a little bit later, maybe 6 months after the gas models came out, but essentially those vehicles launched with a superior powertrain on the Toyota branded side, and the Lexus LX 600 that's based on the same next generation TNGA-F platform didn't get that powertrain. Now, 3 years later, as we look at the 2025 model year, we are finally getting the hybrid on the LX, and it's called the LX 700H. Okay, the numbers are getting quite big at this point. And we're going to talk about all the new features besides the powertrain. We'll talk about the powertrain too, but of course, outside the powertrain, the new tech features up there, the new passive features that make this a better handling, a better ride experience, a better luxurious experience. We'll talk about all that goodness today. So make sure you guys smash a like button if you're excited that the LX finally gets some electrification, a flagship powertrain. And definitely stay to the end because I'm going to explain why I'm in this room, what happened for my situation, for my family after Hurricane Milton just got done finished ravaging Florida. Now, with the GX being on the market, it came out last year. It's got the same wheelbase as the LX. It did some things better than the LX, like panel roof, massage seats, and it has better looks. I'll just say that. I think most of you would agree that the enormous grille on the LX is just obnoxious. The GX looks amazing, but the GX still isn't quite up to the LX's quiet, comfort, or road noise or wind noise suppression. The LX still has that, but the GX, I would say, is a better buy overall, costs a lot less. But the GX launched with a hybrid for other markets, believe it or not, but that uses the 4-cylinder turbo instead of the 6-cylinder turbo. This LX is using the 6-cylinder turbo, and it looks like it's going to be exclusive to the Lexus lineup. Keep in mind, as far as I'm aware, this hybrid powertrain is identical as we see in the Tundra iForce Max as well as the Sequoia iForce Max. So you take the 3.4 liter twin turbo V6, you put an electric motor, a clutch connected between the engine and the 10-speed automatic. We actually don't have details right now on the power numbers, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be slightly more than what we see on the Tundra and the Sequoia. Actually, I could probably do the numbers for you right now because the LX has 406 horsepower, the LX 600. So what is that? 17 more horsepower than what we see on this. So if we just add 17 more horsepower to 437, 454 horsepower. Okay, so there you have it. That's probably thereabouts what you're going to get when you run the LX 600 on premium fuel. Now, in this article, Lexus talks about how they've sealed the battery. So, it's waterproof, but if you're going through some really heavy off-roading and water does get in the battery case, you actually get a warning on the MID to let you know, hey, you're abusing your LX. It's going through too much water, even though they say it can still go through the same amount of water as the non-hybrid. But they say in the failure of your hybrid system, what happens? Are you just a sitting duck? Are you screwed? Are you putting yourself in danger? They said no, because it has an alternator and a traditional starter on board, so you can run exclusively on the twin turbo V6 and bypass the hybrid system. And the 12-volt battery has been moved to the trunk area I don't know if it's because it's more waterproof back there or if it's just for better weight distribution. Not 100% sure, but the batteries in the back of the vehicle, like my 2012 Prius, for example, the 12-volt battery, they let us know that if the hybrid system goes down as well, active ride height control is still functional. So that'll help you have better approach angles, better off-roading capabilities, and even going through water capabilities. So that still works. And then A-Track is the active traction control. That still works as well if the hybrid system were to go down. So we have a nice backup system here on the LX. And this is definitely the LX to get if you were getting this vehicle. We don't have pricing. If we look at the 24 model, it started at $93K, and the non-hybrid still will go on. The 600 will go on if you don't want the hybrid. But I would say the hybrid system is probably going to cost anywhere from $5 to $10 more. I know that's really vague, but we just don't have details. It will be available throughout certain markets. At the end of this year. They're kind of phasing the launch of it. They've had to reposition the spare tire due to where the battery is, but it still maintains the same departure angles. With this hybrid system, you have up to 2,400 watts of power output, but it looks like for certain markets, it says up to 1,500 watts, depending on the region. So that's kind of a bummer if you only get 1,500 watts instead of the 2,400 watt output. Now, you have a AC plug-in, I think, behind the center console between the two front seats, and then you have one additionally in the cargo area in the very back. What does make this system a little different compared to the Tundra and the Sequoia is that this is full-time 4x4. The Tundra, Sequoia, iForce Max, you can put them in rear wheel drive, high and low, and 4-wheel drive, 4 high and 4 low, if my memory serves me correct. But definitely rear wheel drive or 4x4 on the North American products. LX, just like the GX, just like the Land Cruiser, it's 100% of the time 4x4 low or high. Now, center differential is standard, but Lexus is, I need to pull this up, they have a new Overtrail model. And the Overtrail is the second in North America, but the third overall. The Overtrail is kind of like the TRD Pro, I guess you could say, of the Lexus off-roading vehicles. They got bigger tires. In this instance, they also have a rear locking differential. The GX has a rear locking differential too, if you remember, on the Overtrail models, but on the standard models, just a center locking diff. That's the same here. So if you need to have a rear lock or you just want addition of the rear lock to the center lock, remember center lock is standard, then you can get it on the Overtrail model. Now, it hasn't been confirmed for the United States, but if it's not coming to the United States, that's just stupid. I didn't mention this. This is the 12-inch MID. Previously, it was just a 7-inch MID, but finally it's getting some of that Toyota technology that's been on the RAV4 for about 3 years at this point. It's finally coming in the LX. You also have the Electro Shift-Matic knob. Don't remember exactly what it looked like. Here, I think it was the big traditional shifter that seems more at home in a vehicle like this, and this tiny little nub that is like a Prius. My 2012 Prius has a shift by wire knob just like that. Not just like this. This is a little bit fancier. It's the same sort of general technology. So what are the benefits of it? Instead of having the big shifter, well, it takes up less space, so it's easier to play with these controls around here. All right. The dual screens here look to be the same. Some of you guys complain about that, but it's fine. They've also updated the wireless charger. The wireless charger now provides more power, so you can charge quicker. Also, on the ultra luxuries, you have 2 wireless chargers. Previously, on the ultra luxury, they cheaped out. They're like, well, we're just going to put the wireless charger in the back for the VIP customers, and the front customers got their wireless charger taken away. Now there's a wireless charger behind the shifter, and there's a wireless charger for your passengers in the back in the VIP section and the club back there. Now, they called the Moon Desert color Moon Desert in other markets. In our market, it's called Earth, I believe. It was on the GX Overtrail. It's kind of like that army tan sort of color. I think it's pretty cool. So that is coming to the Overtrail model on the LX as well. Oh, I forgot to mention on the Overtrail, you're going to be able to get all-terrain tires. Again, it says market specific. So yeah, more than likely they will be those all-terrain tires. Here's a Overtrail monolith color, which we haven't seen before. Finally, we have this nice rear locking button here on the, by your right knee. I believe that's where these buttons are located. The LX now adopts Lexus Safety System 3.0, I believe, which includes proactive driving assist, which is one of the first things I turn off in newly safety equipped Toyota and Lexus models, because it tries to brake and steer and do all sorts of weird things for you. So I just turn it off. To me, it's a safety hazard. But you also have updated safety features alongside of that. Pre-crash safety, better cruise control with full speed tracking function, better lane departure alert systems, better lane tracing systems than previously available, if memory serves me correct. You also have Lexus Teammate. I don't believe so Lexus Teammate in some markets can do not full self driving. It would be like level 3 autonomous driving. I don't believe that this vehicle is getting this, but it is kind of like a dumbed down version of that. You advanced drive with traffic jam assist, which I tested on. I think I tested on the Lexus RX plug-in hybrid. It can work in certain situations really well, but it's a subscription thing, and I think you only get a year of it. So it's kind of a waste in my opinion. I think I've covered everything here. It's the bare minimum, I would say, for Lexus to finally come out with this iForce Max hybrid system. Maybe they had to make sure it was more durable than what we see on the Sequoia and the Tundra, because it is it's a Land Cruiser with a Lexus badge. Maybe it just needed more ironing out compared to the North American models. I'm not 100% sure why it took so long to bring to the market. Honestly, I would have preferred them to come out with a plug-in hybrid, or just make the LX standard hybrid at this point and then offer an additional plug-in hybrid. When I was working for Lexus, they told us that every single Lexus model will have a hybrid by 2025. Now, the GX has a hybrid in other markets. And they say in this article that, the IS and the RC have hybrids too. We don't get those hybrids in our market. And there are rumors next year that the IS could drop the V6s and turbo 4 cylinders and adopt a hybrid instead and still keep the V8 around. I find that hard to believe. That might be the truth for some markets like Japan. But here in the United States, maybe they offer a hybrid on the IS, but it's probably going to be the same hybrid that's been on it for a decade, I think, like in other markets, a 2.5 liter hybrid. RC has also got that 2.5 liter hybrid in other markets, but the RC is probably going to be canceled by next year. So Lexus still seemingly wants to be fully battery electric by 2030. I think they're going to fall back on that, just like Volvo did. The global demand for luxury EVs is not what any of the manufacturers thought it was going to be. They kind of saw like limitless growth until it was, every customer in the world magically wanted battery electric vehicles. Lexus customers, I know for sure, don't want one choice of powertrain, and that's just a battery electric, and then you pick your flavor of motor combination. At least here in North America, the Lexus customer doesn't want that. Or should I say, every Lexus customer definitely doesn't want that. I would say, you look how well the RZ is selling. And you might be saying, Kirk, yeah, the RZ doesn't sell well because it's not a very good electric car. I would say it's a great electric car for the city only. It's one of the smoothest, quietest, best riding Lexuses money can buy. It just has terrible charging and terrible range and average software, actually below average software for an EV. So if you get a great lease deal on it, just right around town, it's a great vehicle. Look, they're printing money with their hybrids, and the LX is going to capitalize on it. It comes out at a time where hybrids are super highly sought after, even if they cost $110,000 on a flagship LX SUV. Again, I think the market is hungry for more than just the powertrain, essentially, that you get on the Sequoia and the Tundra. I think the market would be hungry for a plug-in hybrid with more power, electric range, and just a more flexible driving experience, honestly, with a plug-in hybrid. I think when you're talking about flagships, I expect a flagship powertrain. And at least for our market, I know this comes to different markets, let's say Europe or Middle East in some cases, that don't see the Sequoia, that don't see the Tundra with the iForce Max. So this twin-turbo V6 hybrid is a new thing for many, many markets, but not for us in the United States, other than it being full-time 4x4. So it's okay. I'm happy that it's here finally, but a little disappointed it's taken this long, and a little disappointed that it doesn't seem to be any more special, again, on paper, than what we've had for a few years. I want to see your comments down below. What are your thoughts? Do you wish the LX had a plug-in hybrid powertrain? Or do you not care at this point because you've already bought a Sequoia with this very similar powertrain, twin-turbo V6 hybrid? Yeah, more Lexus information, news is going to be coming down the hatch by the end of this year. I'm almost certain of it, so stay tuned. And my situation, I'll end with this. My situation, Milton, thank God we're okay. My house is without power. I went back today. There's some minor damage around the premises, but very fortunate, honestly, that no flooding, no major damage. And I'm just going to hang out in this Airbnb as long as I have to before power returns at my house. So I'm very fortunate that this place that we picked a little bit further from the ocean never lost power. Therefore, I have air conditioning. Therefore, we have refrigeration. And I can work. I can make videos for you guys. So thank you guys for your support, because otherwise I couldn't afford to stay in an Airbnb for my family during this hurricane. So I'm very grateful for all your help and your support along the way. Thank you for all your prayers too, if you guys have been putting out those positive vibes. So take care now. Peace out. And I'll catch you in the next one.